Okay, welcome once more, and we'll head straight to the lesson notes. In our lesson notes, we've treated stakeholder management or stakeholder analysis before during project management. So just like I said earlier, that a good business analyst is a good project manager. The way, at some point, the way you as a business analyst manages stakeholders is quite similar the way project managers manage the stakeholders as well. So we have to review what we've done before because it's just the same thing. There is no difference. But for this, at this point, it's going to be a fresher course for us. Is a requirement in business analysis, and we'll have to repeat it. Or we captured it very well in project management. So how do you start managing your stakeholders or analyzing your stakeholders? The first thing is to start identifying them. That is the number one thing. You cannot analyze the person you don't know. So you have to identify who are the stakeholders. So identifying, analyzing stakeholders who are involved or affected by the project, understanding their interests, understanding their expectations, and influence on the project. This is what you need to do at every point. Make sure that you have a good understanding of stakeholders' expectation. There's something they expect from a project. I've worked with so many business analysts and project managers in the past. They do what they want, not what the stakeholders want, and that is very bad. There are times they carry out some deliverables on their own without minding if the stakeholder, they feel that, yeah, they feel it's good. But what you are feeling is good, it might be good to you, but that is not the stakeholder's priority. You need to identify, you need to understand their interests. These are the people, either they are the people sponsoring the project, or they are the people the project is affecting directly. The project outcome is affecting directly. So you need to understand their interests. It's very, very important. I will use a CRM system. For instance, you are implementing a CRM system. Who is going to use this CRM system? Sales reps, marketing agent or marketing officers. These are the people using it. At the end of implementation, they are going to be using it on daily basis, managing their lead, creating lead campaign, and a lot of things. These are the people. So you need to understand how they want to use this. You need to understand the platform they are using for their campaign. You, the business analyst or the project manager, you can't just start because you believe that a CRM system needs to be integrated with other third-party applications. You start integration immediately. You start integrating the CRM system with LinkedIn. What if the stakeholders at this point are the marketing agent or the sales reps, let's say marketing agent that does marketing campaign. What if they are not looking for lead in LinkedIn? Maybe they are channeling their campaign on Instagram and Facebook. It's not a must that you must integrate. So you see, you might be integrating the wrong application. That is what I mean here by interest and expectation. Then there is a sponsor, somebody who is sponsoring that project, who is the main person behind that change. That might be in CRM system scenario, it might be the departmental head, the HOD marketing. So you must understand what the particular person wants to achieve through this CRM within the team. No matter how you are experts in a CRM system, you are the #1 domain expert, you've implemented, yes, but you must understand their need and expectation. You implemented it for company A, the way company B might want to use the same CRM system might be different. So that is the main thing. So this overview covers everything we are going to look into. Identifying them, analyzing stakeholders who are involved or affected by the project, understanding their interests, expectation, and influence on the project. Most of you currently that I'm having issues are because they are not listening to me. They are not doing what I want. They do what they feel that is the right thing. And at the end of the day, I start having issues with them. You cannot keep your stakeholders in the dark in any way. Your main influential stakeholders is very, very important. So, what are various techniques for you to carry out this analysis? You need to identify them. These are part of asking questions. You need to ask questions to understand who are the stakeholders working with you. You can do that through interview, stakeholders, interview, survey, workshop. These are various means. Interview is asking questions. You can ask questions, can start from, if you are new to the organization, you can start, if you don't know whoever to ask, then you can start by asking who hired you, the hiring manager or the HR or the team lead where you are working. From there, you have to understand who is the main person behind the project. And like I said, mostly you just receive project brief, or you might not receive project brief in document. You might just call you to brief you. Briefing is not only when they give you a document, that's not only briefing. Briefing can be oral. So that is how you do that. And you carry out a lot of interviews. You interview a lot of people. Interview is asking questions, trying to understand what you don't know. That's what I mean by interview. We can have one-on-one interview. You can have survey. You can have workshop. We can use other metrics to carry out this, like stakeholder power interest matrix, and so many other ways we are going to look into. And like I said earlier, we use CRM system for an example. The CRM system, we can see that these stakeholders here can be, say, representative marketing managers or customer support team. So these are the people when we are talking about CRM system. I'm using this as an example. When you are working with ERP system, you might meet different stakeholders. When you are working with your e-commerce application, like a marketplace, you might need other group of stakeholders. When you are working with ITSM application, you might need other stakeholders. When you are working with data-related projects, you might need different stakeholders. So we have different type of stakeholders, and that's why you have to make sure you identify the right stakeholders. And that is why I always try to capture stakeholders at different levels for us to see or give us a picture of what stakeholders are. So looking at this first diagram here is organizational stakeholders. When you come to an organization, we have stakeholders. Then project is a smaller activity within the organization. So we have another stakeholders. So you must understand organizational stakeholders, the difference between organizational stakeholders, between the project stakeholders. Because I've seen so many young BA making that mistake. Anybody they see in the organization, they feel you are a big man in the organization, they see you automatically as a stakeholder in the project. No. I made that mistake myself as well when I started, and I send a lot of emails, documents to people that are not supposed to view the documents because I feel they are stakeholders as well, but they are not stakeholders. They are big men in the company, but when we talk about that particular project I was working on, they are not stakeholders. So we have to differentiate between organizational stakeholders and project stakeholders. If you come to the organization, all the employees are stakeholders because the organizational activities affect them in one way or the other. We have senior executives, we have shareholders, we have customers, we have suppliers and contractors, we have end users of products, we have family of employees like wife and children, they are stakeholders as well. We have investors, we have lenders, we have partners, we have unions, regulators, community groups, the media and the government. They are all organizational stakeholders. So the project you are handling might affect these people, one or these two people. If the project is going to be very difficult for your project to affect everybody in the organization at the same time. So all of them cannot be a stakeholder at the same time. And that's what is bringing us down to project stakeholders. You see, project stakeholders here, the first person we are looking at is the project leader. And that is the project manager. We have project team members. Every other person working within the project, either as a developer, as a business analyst, as a quality assurance personnel, as a project coordinator, they are all team members. We have process owners. Process owners are people working on the process on day-to-day, working on the process. These are various process owners, like head of department can own that process within that department. Then people who work on the process, they are part of the process owners, but the main process owner might be the HOD. So people working within the process, these are people that works on the process on daily basis. Like I use CRM system, we have sales reps. They use CRM system on daily basis to manage their lead, to manage their accounts, to manage their contacts, customers' contacts. So we have consumers of process, we have suppliers of the process, and we have operations managers, we have finance managers, we have procurement managers, we have HR training manager, we have performance managers, and we have other senior executives. These are people that are likely going to affect your project in one way or the other. Like, let's say, finance manager. A finance manager, he's a stakeholder because they are the people that authorizes every payment. If they do not understand any payment you are making requests, they will not approve it. So they are stakeholders. Operations managers are these, like when you say marketing manager can be termed as an operations manager because that's an operational activity. We have procurement, things you need to buy. At times, if you want to buy anything within the company, even if it's within the project, you must go through procurement department. We have HR, they are stakeholders as well. You know that they recruited you, they recruited all the team members. If you are looking for more team member or a team member just resign, you want to replace, you have to go through the HR and training manager. We have performance managers. These are the people that will be looking and making sure that everything you do is within the agreed performance standard, and other senior executive. So yeah, project stakeholders can come within this place. Why I'm so particular about these stakeholders, because most of the problems people faces in projects revolves around project stakeholders. In most cases, you are going to get fired because you are having issues with either one stakeholder or the other. You are not meeting the expectation. The project is delaying, you are not meeting the expectation. The project, you captured wrong requirement from the stakeholders. Or you capture wrong scope from the stake. These are a lot of, so that is why you have to work with the stakeholders. You cannot avoid working with them. These are the composition of stakeholders. So let's look at bit by bit on how to identify and analyze these stakeholders. If you are working on a project, or if you are planning to start a project. Like I said earlier, the first thing is to identify. Brainstorm the individuals. Like if you can see here, we have pool of stakeholders within the organization and the project. So within this kind of individuals, brainstorm who might be individuals or group who may have stake in your project. You need to do that. Identify those who have a stake. You know, I like us learning within practical experience what have happened to us. We have a startup company called Foodtraco, and Foodtraco is really beginning to thrive so well in Nigeria, more especially in Port Harcourt. But what happened to Foodtraco is that as we are busy trying to get customers, trying to get vendors, trying to do this and that, we are not working on our compliance. And our CAC status got deactivated. We didn't know that until we started having issues with Flutterwave. We started having issues with Paystack. These are partners, payment gateway partners that we supposed to work with, but they have to disconnect us from their network. And when we find out that they requested for our CAC status, And when we get to our CAC status, we find out that we are no longer CAC active. So we rushed to activate our CAC status, and you know the bureaucracy involved in some of these parastatals. So if we have done what we are supposed to do, or the team have done what they are supposed to do, we should know that compliance is part of main activity in business. And we should know that these are some of the external stakeholders that we have to be careful. So these are going to bring us external stakeholders, high influence stakeholders, the high influence with low high influence and low interest. They have high influence that they can mess our business up, but their interest is so low that they don't even know that they are destroying your business. They don't even know that they are hurting you. So these are some of the stakeholders. So you have to identify all these people. Look at all the things you are doing. Look at compliance. Look at the nature of business you are doing. You see that today's business is all about data management, managing client data, customers' data, sensitive data, and all these things are very, very important. How you manage all this data is very, very important, because these days data gets compromised so easily and it becomes a problem. So these are various stakeholders within these areas. External stakeholders. In terms of data management, you have to make sure that your company is highly compliant. I've got a friend, her bank account was hacked 2 days ago, and they cleaned everything in the account. I think she lost almost 3 million naira. So, and she's planning for a litigation. So if that bank is not fully compliant in terms of data protection, then it's going to be difficult for that bank. I'm not going to mention the bank name, but these are some of the things we have to look at about compliance. That's why even some stakeholders like Google, these are stakeholders. Third-party companies, they are stakeholders. They will not publish any of your mobile application in their Play Store if you are not compliant. You have to be compliant. So that is when we are trying to brainstorm to identify a group of people that have a stake in our project. These are the people that have stakes. It depends on the kind of project you are working on. You have to understand who have stakes. Like in that food tracker project, we have some integrated payment gateways. We should know that payment gateways is a way of sharing information with another company. Our company is now sharing information on daily basis with other companies, sharing sensitive information. And we need to be highly compliant in every aspect of being compliant, because people information can be compromised through when we are trying to share information with these third-party companies. So we have to make sure that in situations like this, we identify all the stakeholders and see what the law is saying and make sure we are compliant. So when you brainstorm and identify this group of people, you sort them by their power and interest. All of them have interests. All of them have power. All of them have influence. You need to understand the key thing here is power and interest. Everything we do in this world is all about interest. Interest, even you are going to work because of your interest in you want to take money home from that company. You have to travel all the way from Yanekbaja to Victoria Land every day because you have interest. This is what we call interest. So you have to sort them by their power and interest. There is what we call power and interest grid. A lot of people do not use it these days, but if you are a young stakeholder, a young BA or project manager, try to follow this traditional approach. Like what we are doing here is traditional approach of stakeholder analysis. Follow it this way I'm teaching you. It will help you to be grounded in stakeholder analysis. Then once you plot them on power and interest metrics, identify the gaps between the current and the desired involvement level and create a plan to manage ongoing communication. These are 5 key ways to manage or conduct stakeholder analysis. So the first one is identifying, brainstorming them. So you can see here, this diagram, I use this diagram to group them, stakeholders, brainstorming them. As you are brainstorming, during brainstorming session, you can use a diagram like this. We call it affinity diagram. So you can be adding them, sorting them differently in their different, and you can see here we have, this is the project. We have the people working within the project, the team lead and the team members. We have people within the organization that these projects are very, very key to them. We have senior managers. Then we have process owners. This is a unit within the organization. So it might be this unit that we are working to effect a change within their unit. Let's say CRM, or let's say sales and marketing department. We're trying to implement a CRM for them. So this is a unit, they are stakeholders. Then we have other internal stakeholders. It's there for you to identify anybody within the organization that might have a stake or interest. Like for instance, say you see finance manager, you cannot do without them because they can delay releasing money. Once you don't have the financing you need, although it might be finance might have been approved by the main organization, but they might decide to hold it back because they do not understand their financial plan, how you want to manage it. So everything, all these people, you need to identify them and manage them very well. Try to understand what they need. If the finance manager wants to understand how you want to spend the money, you don't have any choice than to explain, or you have a record or a document to explain. You share the document, like for instance, the project plan. So these are some of the people you need to. Then we have, you see here, this diagram, all the people within the diagram are internal stakeholders. They are people within the organization. Then you see some people here now, they are outside the organization. They are still stakeholders, but now they are customers. So they are the people consuming your product and services. So you still need to understand them very well. They are external stakeholders. Then we might decide to add more external stakeholders like compliance, organization like local government council authority, health and safety people, data protection people, they are all, or CAC people, FIRS people. If it's in UK, we have HMRC people. All these people, they are all stakeholders. So it's left for you to understand how any of these people are going to be affected by the project in one way or the other. So that is brainstorming. There is no special calculation you use to plot, maybe you say arithmetic or formula. The only formula is brainstorming. Brainstorming is asking questions, using your brain to find out who are those that are maybe. So that's what we call brainstorming. It's a technique in business analysis, a very big technique for that matter. You are going to be doing a lot of brainstorming. So once that is done, you have to start plotting. You can capture them in a sheet. We already have a sheet. Some of us, if you at this point and you don't know how to use our templates, that is, I think you are not doing yourself a favor. Is there any of us at this point that are struggling? Because for me, this is a fresher course. Everybody at this point should be a bit comfortable with stakeholder analysis. Is there any of us that don't know how to use our stakeholder analysis template at this point? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So let's proceed. So by the time you identify them here, you see, looking at this table, you capture stakeholders here by their name, their position in the organization, and then their role, project role. You see, somebody who is a HOD, let's say, that in nearest.com, that IK Eze is by name Ikechukwu Eze. You write Ikechukwu Eze here, and his position in the organization is head of marketing or head of sales, HOD sales. Here you put HOD sales. And HOD, Ikechukwu as a HOD sales are now requesting for a CRM system because they don't have a good CRM system that will help them manage. So, and after then, the organization approved for implementation of CRM system that will help the marketing and sales and every other part of organization that might benefit from that. Because Ikechukwu is the HOD who is now pushing for a CRM system. If you come to project role here, Ikechukwu is going to be, what are we going to call Ikechukwu here? Because you say that all of us know how to use. What are we going to call Ikechukwu? What project role is Ikechukwu going to wear now? Somebody answer. I need answer from the group, because you say we already know how to do this. Or for Alex, can you try? Okay,
Sorry, sir. Can you come again? I went to pick something, sorry.
So you are not following what we are doing. Can you people see? You see? You see, that's why it's just because we are many here, I would prefer everybody put on your camera. Because some people will be just put, why would you come here, just be there? You see? And Ikechukwu that I'm using has suddenly disappeared. Ikechukwu, wherever you are, I want you to answer this question.
Can that person be the project lead?
No. Thank you for trying.
The process owner.
Process owner, Mr. Charles.
I disagree. Okute Blessing. Oh, say Tigokwe, no. Simple question. All of you are not Bagaria.
Please repeat the question, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me come again. I use a scenario. We have nearest.com. All of you are working in nearest.com. And all of a sudden, okay, we have promoted Ikech Kwezi as the head of sales in nearest.com. But they don't have a CRM system to manage their contact and lead. As you people are going to embark on user acquisition, you need CRM system to manage this activity. Okay, now this table here, we want to use this table to capture stakeholders. Now, the stakeholders name, by the way, you say stakeholders, you write Ikechukwu Eze, that is his name. Then his position in the organization here is supposed to be, he is the HOD sales in nearest.com. Is that understood?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this Ikechukwu will have a project, CRM system. Ikechukwu is now pushing for the company to implement a CRM system to help the team. And now we start this project. We're planning to start this project and we want to capture. So what is the Ikechukwu's project role?
Okay, I would say he's a product owner or product manager.
Sorry, bless my disagreement.
Sponsor.
Project sponsor.
Who said project sponsor?
Sponsor.
Okay. Janet, well done. The answer is project sponsor. As a matter of fact, in that project, Ikechukwu is #1 person in that project. He calls the shot because the project is his brainchild. He initiated that project. He's the person that said that we want CRM. I want CRM for my team. And he's the project sponsor. And then, if you want to capture the power here, Ikechukwu is going to be high power. If you're going to capture interest, Ikechukwu is going to be high interest. The level of awareness, nothing you do in this project will come to Ikechukwu as a surprise. You should make sure that you have Ikechukwu support at all times. Whether you are a project manager, whether you are a business analyst, pleasing Ikechukwu in this project should be your utmost priority. Because Ikechukwu can decide he don't want to work with you and they show you the door. Is that very clear?
Yes, sir.
And that is the way you are going to capture other stakeholders. You can see Ikechukwu's position in the company is different from Ikechukwu's position in the project. His position in the company is HOD sales, and his position in the project is project sponsor. So that is the main thing I want us to understand. So let's make progress. Okay, this is what we call power grid, power and interest grid. You see power and you see interest. And you see grid is what we call like a boxes together. So we call it power and interest grid. Now, this will help you to understand how you relate with these stakeholders. You have captured the stakeholders in that table, but how do you relate with them is another thing. The way you relate with stakeholder A might be different the way you relate with stakeholder. You must find out the way you relate with them on personal basis for you to have a good project success. You cannot use the way you are relating with Ikechukwu to relate with others. You might have a problem. You might not use the way you relate. So this is what we're talking about. Now, after capturing these stakeholders in a table, you've brainstormed, listed all the stakeholders, come down here and start plotting them where they belong. You see here we have some stakeholders here wearing red shirts. We have stakeholders here wearing green shirts. We have black shirts. We have blue shirts. These are different stakeholders. Then if you come here, each box will tell you how we are going to relate with them. Under those people called context setter, they are wearing red shirts. The box here is telling you understand and satisfy their need. You must understand their need and satisfy their need. Looking at them, you can see that these people, this is power. So you see high power, you see low power. All the stakeholders on the upper box, top box, are high-powered stakeholders. So it means that all the people in red and all the people in green, they are high-powered stakeholders. They have power. Means that when they say that somebody have power, that in a project, it means that that person can have what can derail, destroy, or hurt that project. They have power to hurt your project, and you don't want your project to be affected negatively in any way. So you have to do whatever you need to do. Is there politics you need to play to make sure that you are on the good book of these people that are staying on top? These people sitting below, you see them here, you can see low power. Here, you need to respect everybody, but these people with low power is going to be difficult for these people to hurt your project. So don't go and start paying so much attention to them. The attention you should pay to these people on top, you start giving it to the wrong people here. Yeah, you need to monitor everybody, but pay more attention to the people on top, the people with high power. Then, these people with high power, and you see them here, you see interest here. Within the interest, we have high interest, we have low interest. Then these people with red color, they have high power and they have low interest. In our case, with Food Traku, they are people with high power and low interest. They are CAC people. They are HMRC people. They are FIR, all these regulatory bodies, local council, government, authority. These are where they belong. We can have other people in the organization as well, like finance manager. The finance manager might not have interest in that project. All he needs is that he's doing his job, release money for you to go and do your job. But if you do not present the right document for him to understand your financial management how you are going to spend the money. He might decide to sit on that money and time will be going. So it's not only external stakeholders. So here we have external stakeholders that you might need to capture here. Those that are making the law, data regulatory bodies, they are here. Health and safety officers, they are here. They have high power and they have low interest. Low interest is that they don't know what they are, they don't care about the project. If anything is happening, they will just tell you they are doing their job. So like the CAC people, all they need to do is that at the end of the year, they didn't see us comply or we didn't pay some amount of money we need to pay. Maybe we forget or maybe we don't have, whatever the reason they don't know, they just deactivate our account. Deactivating our account started affecting every other person we are doing business with. They are now saying that we are no longer compliant. They are there because what is affecting us might affect them. So they don't want any stories. Go fix yourself. You come back, we can continue our business. And trying to fix ourselves, these people, they've deactivated us. Now we're chasing them around to activate us back. Becomes wahala. It's not a big deal, but they are taking their time. That is it. It happens everywhere. So understand what these people are looking for and just give it to them. That is what the project this is saying. Good. Having understand these red people, the content setter, then we'll have engage. Engage and manage actively. Another group of people here, these key players, you can see they are on top. On top means that they have high power. And again, you're looking at here, under interest, that is interest. On the right hand, they have high interest. Unlike these people that have low interest. So, now, these people, I told you that these people with high interest and high power, you keep, nothing comes to them as a surprise, or you are going to be losing your job. You must make sure that you are doing exactly what they want. Even if you don't want to do what, you can then advise them, trying to get their support. Anything you want to do that is not captured, maybe you want to give them more than what they want in order to impress them, that is good. That's why they hired you. As a business analyst, you are a consultant. You have to give them quality advice, but you cannot just start implementing without getting authorization. You need to let them, they need approval from them. Before you do anything, you need approval. So that is them. They are where this person called project sponsor belongs. So in our own scenario, looking at our case study with Ikechukwu, this is where he belongs. He is the project sponsor. He's sponsoring this project. We can still have other big men here, like the project manager is supposed to be here. If you have a senior business analyst you are working with, he should be here. All the big boys, they should be here as well. So all the people that have key interest in that project, they should be here. So you must make sure that you engage and manage them actively. Actively. Or they will show you the door. Good. Are we progressing? I need interactive class, please. When I ask questions, you respond.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But a little confused.
Yes, sir. We are
So, Ms.
progressing.
Ogwai,
We are
what is
progressing.
confusing?
My confusion is based on project sponsor and project owner. I don't know the difference between two of them.
Project owner.
Yes, and project sponsor.
Where did
Yes,
we
so
capture project owner?
The thing is, why I'm asking this question is based on that example you use as Ikechukwu. I thought a project sponsor should be the person that will finance the project in an
Is he not the
organization.
person, is he not the person that's securing the funding? What is financing?
Financing in terms of the person that will bring the funds.
Yes, he's the person that is bringing the fund. Are you the one bringing the fund?
Okay, that's my question. I'm
No,
confused.
Let's understand finance. What is finance? What is financing?
And my own in terms of
I
the
studied
money from the
finance.
pocket.
I studied finance. What is financing? Okay, now. In the house, in a family where let's say the husband is giving the wife money to pay school fees for the children, who is financing that educational project in the house?
the husband.
The
Okay.
husband.
So now, is it because the finance manager is paying out? Who authorized, who did the legwork, who initiated the project? The finance manager is not the owner of the company. And Ikechukwu here has to, maybe convince the board, the directors, that we need this, and the director said, okay. So he's the person that is securing the funding. He secured the funding for that project. So in that organization, because he secured the funding, he is the project sponsor, not the finance department. They are not the people financing the project. Finance department is just a channel of payment. I want you to understand that. Are you getting this? Joy, I don't know if we're both of us are now teaching. So, Linda, I hope I've cleared your doubts.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Somehow.
No, I don't want somehow. You are still not understanding it. Ask your question so that other people who are maybe my own explanation might be. So where are you still struggling?
Still with the finance, because
How are you? Okay. Is there any other person who can help me explain this to Linda? Because my kind of explanation is maybe she's not getting it. Any other person who can assist?
Let me try.
Okay, Alade Tomioya.
Okay. Good evening. Okay, so the way it works in some big companies is that each department has their, should I say, budget. So that the money for this project is going to be taken from the budget for sales department. And the head of the department is the one that will control that budget. So let's assume the budget for sales department is maybe naira, and the money for this project is 2 million naira. That 2 million naira will be dispensed by the finance team, but it's going to be removed from the budget for sales department. So that is why the HOD for sales is going to be the one financing that project because he's removed from his own budget. It's not going to be removed from the budget for finance department.
Good.
But I don't know
And
if
any other person, you got it, but let's hear from another person.
Can I try?
Okay, Ezendo.
All right. Okay, so financing in this case for the project sponsor is about mobilization of funds, because in an organization, the fund can be seated somewhere and it is not put to use. So what brings about the expenses for that project is coming out from the project sponsor. So I will say that that is what financing is all about: mobilizing funds for a particular project. That's what makes you the project sponsor.
Good. I think this has been well explained. You will have different version, and all the version of the explanation is quite clear. Like mobilization is goal, which is even the best term to describe the financing here. So through his mobilization, that money has been approved and marked for this project. So that makes him the sponsor. He's sponsoring that project. He conceived that project. The project is his brainchild. He conceived it and mobilized funds for it. So that means that he's the sponsor. This is within the organization. Another scenario is, for instance, you are working for a consulting company, because so many of us are going to be working for consulting companies. So many of us are not going to be working for an organization where you are going to be managing internal projects. For instance, I will use Deloitte, or let's use Accenture. All of us, who doesn't know Accenture? All of us know Accenture as a big consulting firm, or KPMG, or there are so many small consulting firms. Okay, in this scenario, you are a business analyst working with Accenture, and now you have been you have a client. Let's say a client like Nearest. We contacted Accenture to help us implement, because most of these companies, they do what we call outsourcing. All this IT implementation, they outsource it to big companies because they don't want stories from their internal team. So they outsource it. So in a situation where a project has been outsourced, maybe Nearest outsource this to, and you are not a business analyst in Nearest. You are a business analyst with Accenture. You can then, in this scenario, you can call Nearest the project sponsor. So the Nearest is now a client to Accenture. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Good. So these are ways you can become a project sponsor or a client. Like now, so many of us working in Upwork. You are a self-employed in Upwork. So any other person company you are working, you call them clients. They are project sponsors. If you are working as a business analyst, they are project sponsors to you. So, and the point we are trying to, Deborah, you've been raising your hand, okay? Or is it by error?
Sorry, good evening, Mr. Charles. So please, I just want to ask a question. I have two questions actually. So the first one is, who is the process owner? Because I'm a bit confused there. And then the second one, you gave us a scenario where maybe the head of marketing has seen a process that, maybe there's something he or she wants to improve in the department. So he's spearheading, or he or she is spearheading the project. But then he has to present this idea or whatever it is, or improvement he wants to make in his department to the board, who then approves it. So I want to know, is that the board that does the approval, are they part of the project? If they are part of the project, what role are they?
The board that approves that, they are not part of the project. They can just, for instance, now I'm a director and I approve any project that goes within the company. So anything they want to, all the departments, every department is having one project going on within their department or the other. Like the sales, maybe they want a campaign, they want to mobilize money for their campaign. We have a board in where so many companies have worked. When we come to, we have like senior managers or directors. So the HODs will go present some of the projects they want to, and they are going to evaluate the project if they align with the organizational vision or in one way or the other. Then they approve the project, they approve the fund for the project. So they are not part of that project. They evaluate, they approve, but they are not part of that project. So you cannot capture them there as part of the organizationally, yeah, they are stakeholders, but in that project, they are not. The person that goes there to solicit for that money, to mobilize that money, is the project sponsor, not the directors or the CEO. They are not the person that is sponsor, is the person that mobilized, the person that initiated that project. These are the people we call sponsors. And again, you talk about process owners. Can anybody give this question a go? Who are the process owners? Let's continue to use marketing or sales unit or department. Can anybody give it a go?
Good evening, Mr. Charles. Process owner is who you say that it's in charge. Like, let me use the way we are doing project brief, and we are doing the different roles we are playing when you are doing a project. Those in outside Nigeria, we were doing, and you say, okay, this person is in charge of questionnaires. This person is in charge of reaching out to this product owner. That's the process owner for that particular task. That's who a process owner is. The person who ensures that that particular project, that task in that project is done and completed.
Okay, good. That's very good. Or for Alex, okay, give it another go.
All right, so we can say the process owner is also accountable for the one that is accountable for all the jobs, all the tasks in that project. So in most cases, it can be the project manager. So he will coordinate, monitor, and ensure that that project is completed.
Okay. Well, all of you are still trying to get it. Let me look at it from because we have been using this scenario, sales and marketing. Okay, in sales and marketing, we have in some organization they merge their sales and marketing as one unit. Some capture them differently. Then we have so many processes within that sales and marketing. who approves what goes on within that sales and marketing? Like every process, let's say lead management is a process. Lead management is the process of capturing a lead, managing the lead, qualifying the lead, and converting the lead to customer. It's a process. It's a process within sales and marketing, and it's one of the big process we use CRM system to manage. Another process there is campaign, how to generate a lead generation. We know that lead generation falls into marketing. It's quite a process before a lead can be generated. So before a lead can be generated, somebody needs to come up with the idea, design it, market it, promote it, do this, decide different. These are processes. So you as a business analyst, it's your duty to understand all these processes. Like as a business, you should understand how to generate a lead process. If you want to optimize that process, you need to capture it in a process. That's what called process map. You map it out. So these are what we call processes, different processes. So who is in charge of all these processes? Whoever is in charge is the person we call process owner. It can be head of department. If you come, it can be HOD. In some cases, we have unit head that is not, or process head that is not HOD. So you have key person within lead management. We have key person within lead generation. Then we have people working in the process. They don't own that process, but they do their work within the process, like sales rep. Sales representative is one of the people that work within the process. During the process of lead management, they assign a lead to who? They assign a lead to a sales rep. So the sales rep will then follow up the lead, manage the lead, try to qualify the lead. That is some of the people working within the process. These are all the people that are using that CRM system. You, business analyst, is trying to understand to make sure that you get the right CRM system and carry out the implementation with the project manager. So these are processes, people working within the processes, and people that owns the processes. So that is what we call process owner, and that's what we call people working within the process, and that's what we call project sponsor. Is there anybody that's still struggling at this point? Okay. Then within this power grid, we've discussed how we are going to manage the people in green color, which we say there's a high powered and the high interest stakeholders. We still have these people at the bottom of the grid. And these are, we have crowd, we have defenders. So under this, we have monitor, these people that you need to monitor. Under this crowd, monitor and inform occasionally. That's what they are saying here. You need to monitor them. You know, most of the developers who are working with, this is where they fall into. Developers, you need to monitor them, making sure that they do their work. If you do not monitor them, such people, they are not going to do their job. You are going to have issue with your timeline. If you are a project manager, you better keep eye on these people. Most of them are freelancers. Most developers are freelancers. They have a lot of people they are working for at the same time. They will collect job from A, B, C. It's whoever that gives them pressure that they concentrate on. So you have to monitor them. Whichever time you mean to work with them, make sure you check they deliver within time. And that's why a project manager that is not monitoring very well, if you go to their project environment like free camp, you see a lot of overdue. Are you people getting me? Overdue. It means that what the implication of that is that the team members are not doing their job because they are not being monitored. You need to monitor them to do their job. Some of them, they are not interested. You are interested and their interest and the interest of the project sponsor. These are three different interests. Their interest is how much are they taking home? Are we getting a bonus? Are they going to increase our salary? Do we need to go for strike so that we can? These are their interests. They are not even talking about when are we completing this project. They have everything about them is what is going into their pockets. They are so selfish about this. So to get the best out of them, you have to monitor them. If you go to construction sites, these are carpenters. These are plumbers, electricians, bricklayers, technicians. If you don't monitor them, here in UK, you see all these electricians. They can go for fag break even 5 times. Any small thing they go after, we are going for fag break. Fag break is smoking. The time they will use to work, they will go for fag break. They will spend 15 minutes before they go another fag break, 15 minutes. Before you know it, it's time to go home. They will start packing their bag. If you check out what they've achieved for the day, you find out they've not done anything. They've not done anything. They keep on going for fag break. All the time, fag break. And the next thing, they are packing their bag to go home. They will see you tomorrow, man. You see, you will be in big trouble as a project. If you don't, some of them will say you are very mean. Yes, that's why this is the situation where they start complaining that project managers are very mean people. If you are not mean to these people, nothing is going to progress. You have to be very mean. Because they are these people, they don't care. They don't know that the big stakeholders are on your neck. So these are the people, you monitor them. You have to monitor them. Okay, we have another group of people. These people, they don't have power. You can see they are sitting on the bottom of the grid. They don't have power, but they have interest, high interest. So this is where the people working within the these are mainly people working within the process. This is where they belong. So now we have a CRM system, and the company want a better CRM system. They want to migrate one from the current CRM system to another CRM system. And the future CRM system the company is planning to migrate is a bit advanced, but it will help the company to achieve their purpose more. Meaning that all the people working with the old CRM system, they need upscaling, they need training, in order to use the new system. So many of them will be panicking. They might struggle to learn the new system. So many of them might have worked within the old system for 20 years. Now we are telling them this new system. What is it say here? Consider. Because so many of them, they don't have power, but they are human beings. And mind you, they are the people that are going to use this system you are implementing. You have to keep them updated with the current information, what is going on. They need to be on the know because they are the people going to use the system. Although they don't have power, but they are the end users of that product. So that is what this means. Consider and keep informed. Update them about what is going on. When are they going to start? When the training is even going to start? Is there any documentation they can start? So keep them informed about any available resources that can help them. So with this, done a very good stakeholder analysis. Do we have anybody who is struggling with this power and interest grid, using it to do a simple stakeholder analysis? Okay, we progress. All right. When these are done, when you must have captured, analyzed stakeholders, understand them very well, the next thing is to, over time, understand gaps within their stakeholder management, gaps within communication. As you are managing them, there will be gap, meaning that some stakeholders will not be happy with you because of one thing or the other. That is a gap in stakeholder management. It's part of the analysis. You might not do all this analysis the same day. So over time, like if you start a project, maybe after 1 month, you find out that some stakeholders are not happy with you as a project manager or as a business analyst. Some people are not happy already. That is what we call gap. And you need to address this gap. So for you to address the gap, you need to assess your current relationship with the stakeholder. And after assessing your current relationship, you should be able to understand where you are having gaps, where you are having lapses in your stakeholder relationship or stakeholder management. That gap is what you need to cover at their desired space. Desired space is where there is no gap. So that is what that is supposed to mean. That is what we need to do at this point. So, looking at this, you see what is the level of awareness. You need to understand the level of awareness. If the stakeholders, a particular stakeholder is unaware of what you are doing, you claim that the stakeholder is unaware when you are doing your gap analysis, trying to analyze the current state. Then if stakeholder is aware of what you are doing, you click aware. If the stakeholder interested, you click interest. If it's not supportive or supportive, whichever way you start clicking. And after then, you have to be honest when you are trying to do this analysis. That will help you to understand your relationship with every stakeholder. If you are very honest with this, you know where you have challenges with your stakeholders, and you come to the desired place, you fix them. You make sure that, let's say, IK, who is the sponsor, is not aware of what you are doing, and because of that, you are not getting support from IK, then the next thing you need to do is that if you come here, you must make sure that IK is aware of everything you are doing, and then making sure that the level of interest is high, and making sure that IK is supporting you. You must secure support of these high interest, in short, you must get support of all the stakeholders. But these people, high interest, high powered, they are the most important people. So you must secure their support at all time. You know, even if, for instance, you are having challenges with these people, external, let's say external stakeholders here, like those that have high power and low interest, and you have strong support from these people, you can still navigate your way. But once you start having problem with these green people, you are finished. So, after analyzing the current state and the desired state, covering the gap which you identified in the current state, you have to maintain an ongoing communication with all the stakeholders, and you have to understand, you have to plan method of communication with every stakeholder. The way you communicate with stakeholder A will be different the way you communicate with stakeholder B. So with that, you must have a unique communication for every stakeholder. And what you do here, you capture the stakeholder name, you capture their contact information, method of communication. Like now, in my own case, how do you communicate me? You know, I don't have problem. I'm even the one who said you can communicate with me, chat me up with. These are different stakeholders. Some stakeholders, you send them a chat on WhatsApp, you are leaving that company that day. Why would you chat them on WhatsApp? You know, some stakeholders, you don't even call them on phone. It's only their wife and their children that can call them on phone. You dare not call their number. Why? What? They don't want it. Send them email. I immediately, such people, immediately you are sending them an email, they are responding to your email. But such people, if you call them on phone, it's an offense. You don't call them on phone. I've worked with so many of such people. And then in a team, whose responsibility to communicate to a particular stakeholder? There are some stakeholders that you know whom to not you. Some people need to communicate them. So you must understand who communicates to a particular stakeholder. You must know. And how often must a particular stakeholder be communicated? You can say once in a week, like status reports. You can say some stakeholders, they don't want you calling them all the time. In the morning, you call them or you send them email they don't want that. That's your little project, which is the center of your world in that company, might be like a grain to such stakeholders. They have some of these stakeholders, they have their legs in so many big projects going on in the organization. So when you come to start calling them every day, sending them, you are bugging them. They don't want that. So if just they want is every week, send them their status report so that they will know where you are. And then in this case, it can be every week. Like what we say, every week. That's what I'm doing with you people here. Outside these classes I'm having with you, every week we have meeting once. In most cases, is at the end of the week, like Fridays. By the end of the Friday, let's see, before 12 noon, you send your report. Some of them will say, send your report on Thursday so that they will use Friday to review. But some of them will say, just send your report. They will have to go through your report with the rest of the Friday, and by Monday you get feedback. Some of them, they will get your report on Thursday. They will give you feedback on Friday, so you know where you are before you go on weekend. So you must understand all this and make sure you log feedback from every communication, so that once you look at your stakeholder document, management document, you know what is required. If, for instance, feedback said they ask you to do so, improve on this, you had a communication, this is feedback, you know what to do at any point, because we can forget. If you don't log feedback, you can forget what you are meant to do. Some people, you still log your feedback, and you come to their corner, you see sticker notes. These are part of the reminder. They will even automate some of the activities, because when you are managing so many projects, like me here, you know how many projects I manage. You know, like, even if you don't know what I do here in the UK or my engagement, from this boot camp alone, you know, I have up to 3, maybe say 2 or 3 boot camp running. And as I have boot camp running, okay, in your own boot camp, we have different groups. Each group is a different project. So with that, if you don't log, for instance, now I'm working in so many of these projects. If I don't log feedback, how do I, cope? You might forget some activities, and if they are not automated as reminders, or you might start having issues. So it's very, very important to have feedback log. Capture feedback from every communication. So this is what we call communication action sheet or communication plan. So that's it. So these are various documents here. So this is number 1. These are the documents that you already have: involvement planning worksheet, and then communication action worksheet or communication plan. So that is it. We have it here. This particular document I captured here, this is the live document here. That's the live document. We can use to do our stakeholder analysis. So you see here, this is where you capture the name, you capture the position in the organization, you capture the role, you capture the power, and their power here. You capture their level of awareness. Are they aware of what you are doing? You capture, are they interested? You capture whether they are supporting you. Are they supportive? So when you capture this is the current, this will help you to understand the involvement, the level of involvement. And over time, when you'll be doing the analysis, gap analysis, then you have to use this particular area to capture the current relationship. And you compare the current relationship with the desired relationship. Within this current relationship, if they are not supporting you, this should be your primary target, supportive. Who are those that are not supporting you? You find out why they are not supporting you, and all you need to do is do your correction. And here, you make sure that everybody is supporting you. If everybody is not supporting you, it means your project is not healthy. You are having issues with stakeholders. And when you're having issues with stakeholders, it's not a good sign. It's not a good omen in your project. So that's it. We are not going to go into how to start using this. At this point, it's becoming so elementary to you people on how to use, because I believe you should have known how to use this by now very well. So that is it. And again, this is this document is already in the platform, which I want everybody to download. This is what I generated, and it's going to help us to, get started with this. See here, you see influencers, tier and their tier. Top tier 1 is influencers with more than 10 million followers, and we'll have these following people, and the platform is Instagram. It doesn't mean it's only Instagram. We can equally capture from Facebook. So, and then it's self-explanatory anyway. It's just for, we've talked about this before. So it will help you people. And you see here, this is mainly Lagos. So like I said earlier, if you come to every state, for us to be active, you identify those that live within your state, and we try to make a move on getting to meet them and discuss our proposal with them. For those that are living outside Nigeria, like I said, we have a lot of influencers doing very, very well. Nigerian influencers doing very well that are not living in Nigeria. So I know so many of them in UK. I know one lady. This lady is very, very popular. She's a Nigerian. She's an Igbo woman. She makes hair. And this lady have more than, I think, in Facebook that I know, she has almost 3 million followers on Facebook. This lady is living here in UK, So we have so many of them in the UK, America, Canada, different parts of the world, Nigerians with high followers. We have them. There are so many of them. And even so many celebrities that are still very active. So many of them are now living in US. So many of them are living in different parts of outside Nigeria. There are so many of them. It doesn't mean that it's only Nigerians. So why this? Because Chrissy asked this question and I'm responding to that. So everybody should be involved in this project actively. Your location is not an excuse. So at this point, today's class, as we are teaching, we are capturing questions and are responding to questions. And with that, we're almost, our class is normally 1 hour, and we use like 30 minutes to capture and respond to questions, making it 1 hour, 30 minutes. You can see we've already exceeded our time, 1 hour, 30 minutes for this. And we might not be asked entertaining questions because of that. I see somebody raising hands. Good luck. We're not, but you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Charles. Yeah, I just want you to maybe talk a little more on how to fill this form on business analysis, where we have the desire, the current, where we fill in the the information about the stakeholders, if they are aware, unaware. So I saw that both in current and in the desire, they have almost the same headings. So how do we
Can somebody respond to this question, please? Because I asked a question, is there anybody who don't know how to use these documents? Can somebody respond to this question?
Okay, sir, can I?
Yes. Can somebody respond to this question?
Okay, let me try, Mr. Charles.
Okay.
Yeah, the current is the current position of things between you, the project, the business analyst, and your stakeholders.
Yes.
While the desire is where you want it to be, where it should be. So your desired place is a place where you want it to be. So you should strive by all means to make sure that you achieve that desired place where you want it to be at every stage. That should be your push to make sure that your project and your relationship with the project sponsors, the stakeholders rather, are at the desired place where you want it to be.
That is it. There's nothing to add again. You've answered the question. And to fill the form, I say that filling the form, you need to be honest with your relationship with your stakeholders. If stakeholders are not supporting you, you leave it blank. They are not supporting you. If the stakeholders, they are not interested, you leave it blank. They are not interested. They are not showing interest. You started doing deliverable and the stakeholders, they do not know what you are doing. For instance, now, you already, before we know it, you've already started a meeting with Davido already, because we say we are going to have influencers. You arrange with your team, you're already meeting with Davido and started negotiating with the Davido, and I'm not even aware that you've started meeting. That is awareness. Are you getting me in this point? So if you are planning to start your course visit to discuss this proposal, I must know, not well all of a sudden you tell me that Davido said that they are not interested. I didn't even know when. So this is awareness. And if I'm not aware of things I'm supposed to be aware, of course, if you're asking for any kind of support, I will just ignore you. That means that stakeholder is not supporting you. So if you find out that 3 stakeholders or 4 stakeholders or all the stakeholders are not supportive, that doesn't mean that. What it means that you don't have good relationship with your stakeholders. And you, like our friend said, you have to strive at all means to make sure that you are the desired. Like I said, the most desirable is to make sure that everybody is supporting you, more especially the people with high power and high interest. So I don't know how I'm going to explain this again, but if you do not understand at this point, we have a lot of us that are still very good, like me here. Like you see, this answer is very good. Drop it in your platform and it become a topic for more enlightenment within your platform. Is that clear?
Thank you so much, sir. Well understood.
Good. So at this point, I have to say good night to everyone and sleep tight.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night.
night, Mr. Charles.
Good night,
Good
Mr.
night.
Charles. Thank you
Good
very
night,
much.
Thank you,
Mr.
Mr.
Charles. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.